Okay then, so this next session is going to be based on core stability and working into our glutes. So basically, core stability can be described as working deep into our abdominal areas. So the rectus abdominis, the transverse abdominis are all going to really stabilize. So basically the core is involved in assisting a lot of movements of the body. So if you're a regular runner, if you have a stronger core, it's going to provide more of a stable base for the limbs to move away from. So your arms are involved a lot in running, obviously your legs. But basically by stabilizing your core, really getting some good contraction to your abdominals, building a stable base, you're going to have a better range of motion. So we'll get to it. We'll just start with a little glute warm up, okay, on our feet. So if you can, a little bit of balance, just draw your shoulders back, chest nice and open, abdominals nice and tight. So we breathe in. On the out breath, suck your core in towards your spine. Just lengthen your arms up to about shoulder height straight. Putting some bend into your right knee. Just taking your left leg off the floor behind. So a fairly straight left leg, but lots of bend in the right knee. We'll just move a bit further forward, okay? So if you can't bend, you can just stay here. That's good pressure on your right glute. But if you can, just maybe try and bring in a bit of slow and controlled, deep bending of that right knee, just to fire up the glute. And nice steady tempo. All right, so just 5 on each foot at this tempo to begin. So left foot flat, arms lengthened out, nice and tighten your core, just a bit of bend into the left knee, right leg off the ground behind, and if you can, just a bit of slow and controlled bend of the left knee, just to fire up the glute, and 4, and up. So just doing your best to keep the knee in line over your toe with that. It's not easy when you're on one foot, but just do what you can. So maybe just increasing the tempo a little bit, lengthen your arms again, and keeping that midsection tight, bending your right knee, left leg off the ground. So either stay still or return to your slow controlled motion, or maybe just increasing the tempo a little bit now. So you just start to build up a bit more lactic in the glutes fairly quickly. And if you can get about 10 of those, of that sort of tempo, that'd be fantastic. And we move in again. Lengthen your arms, bending your left knee, straighten your right leg behind. So either still or slow and controlled, or with a bit of tempo, just firing up the glute. And it goes wrong when I don't look straight ahead. So I'll just look straight ahead for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you'd be surprised by how quickly those glutes warm up from all that. So here we go then. We're going to come onto the floor just to come into some really good core stabilizing movements now. Alright, so we're just going to have our spine on the ground and shoulders are down away from the ears. And in fact, we'll just fire up the glutes once more actually. First of all, just have your back pressed into the ground, your arms on the floor as well. Collarbone wide and open, and gap under your chin. And just peel that spine off the floor. Okay. Getting to the point where you're resting on your upper back. Reach your fingertips down towards your heels. Knees are in line over your toes. And just take your time breathing in, lifting your left arm back behind your shoulder, trying to get the fingertips, the palm of your the back of your hand down to the floor. Lower your hand down, breathe in, and just switch slowly to the opposite side here. So the glutes and hamstrings really starting to fire up, and we're keeping everything else nice and still except the moving arm. So that's the theme of core stability, which we'll come to in just a moment. Blow it out, breathing in, lower your arm down, and just massage your spine down to the floor there. So that's a good start to fire up the glutes. Now we're going to come into some core stability. So just finding a neutral spine, sliding 2 hands under your lower back, Just make sure, folks, there's not a huge gap there, but your spine, lower back isn't totally pressed into the floor. 2 fingertips can still get underneath. And we're going to just straighten your arms above the chest. Palms come together. Inhale on the out breath. Draw your abdominals into the spine. And to begin with, on the exhale, we're just going to slowly take a right arm to the right. And we're going to hold it. So we're just feeling a little bit of shake on the left side of the core here. Nothing fancy, just very slow and controlled. And this time, on the out breath, just taking our time as we drop our left arm to the left. Blowing out, we hold. Breathing in. We come back in. And now, this is when we just have to stay nice and stable in the pelvis. We just carefully take a right arm to the right, but we're trying to take a bent left knee out to the left. And then we're going to just hold nice and still. So we're just working on the right side of the core, right side of your abdominals, keeping the right knee still, but breathing in, carefully bringing that left knee back in. And nice and controlled now on the out breath. We just take a left arm to the left straight, a right knee to the right bent, and we hold. And we're feeling some squeeze and shake and contraction on the right side of our core now. So holding steady. Breathing in, we are coming back in with knee and in with hand, and that's our first level. So you can stick with that level, or you might just be ready for level 2, where we come to a tabletop, glue your knees and your feet together, maintain the abdominal contractions, just sucking your core in towards your spine, so you're lifting your pelvic floor. And on the out breath, folks, what about taking a right arm to the right and a left leg to the left bent, but keeping that right knee still. And as you've reached as far as you can, keep the body nice and still now, shaking that right side. Then breathing in very slowly, stabilizing your abdominal core, bringing your knees and hands together. On the out breath, this time, left arm to the left, right knee edging out to the right. Keep that left knee still. Keep the body nice and still as well. And those deep stabilizer muscles in your abdominals are really working hard. So we're breathing in as we slowly close the palms and knees together. We'll do one more on each side. Just take your time on the out breath. Taking the right arm to the right, left knee to the left, and once more we're shaking the right channel. Really getting a stronger core, a stronger base for the limbs to move away from. Breathe in at the top, keep the left knee still, take the right arm to the right, get as far as you can, and then just hold as best you can, folks, holding steady, tight tummy. Breathing in, carefully bring knee to knee, palm to palm, and just wrap your hands over knees there for a minute, rock side to side. So that's a great example of our core stability going on there. We were moving the limbs very slowly, but the base for your abdominals are really getting a good shake on, and getting lots of overload into the midsection core. So a different one now. We'll just start by making sure we've got plenty of room, just keeping that neutral spine. 2 fingertips can still get underneath the lower back. Straighten your left leg out, stick your left hand behind head, raising a right arm above right shoulder, palm of your hand facing to the left as well. Suck it in your abdominal core. Breathing in, carefully bring the head and neck off the ground, chin tucked in. So you're just lifting your left heel slightly off the floor for this one. And on the out breath, we're slowly taking the right arm down. We're breathing in as it comes back. Now we blow out, we take the right arm to the right, keeping everything nice and still. And making those stabilizing muscles under the left side of your core really start to wake up and switch on. So nothing fancy, we're just really steady and controlled with the right arm. Breathing in as we come in, blowing out as we lower down. Take the breath in, got that hand supporting your head and neck, and blowing out. Take the arm out, breathing in, come back in, and just put your head down for a second there. So hopefully you can feel that really start to work on the left side of your trunk abdominal area. So just the other side coming up shortly. First of all, going to come up to a tabletop now. So similar to what we just did before that move there, we're going to just stick two hands behind the back of the head. We're going to maintain a nice tight tummy. We're going to carefully bring the head and neck off the ground with your chin tucked in. On the out breath, what about taking a left knee slowly out to the left again? And from there, we just stay nice and still. Nothing's moving except my head to the camera. And that way, the left side of your core really shaking and overloading. Take your breath in. Come back in with the left knee now. On the out breath, left knee still. Right knee turning out to the right. Just keeping the bend in the knee. Going as far as you can and holding still. Shaking that right side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in. Slowly come back in. Put your head down. And of course, there's a really advanced way to do that, which I'll demonstrate now, but only do it if you think you can, because your neck might strain if you're not comfortable. All right, we'll give it a go. So first of all, your hand would start on the floor. You'd make sure your abdominals are in towards the spine, and the collarbone wide and open. Your palms would come off the ground. We'd take a breath in. We'd carefully bring the head and neck off the ground. Okay. We'd then just lengthen your arms above the shoulders. And on the out breath now, we'd take a left knee out to the left, chin tucked into your chest, and that way, abdominals are just having to work really hard here, stabilizing. Take a breath, bring your knee back in, pause. On the exhale, take a right knee out to the right, chin tucked into the chest, blowing out, breathing in, knees come together, head goes to ground. So that's really quite advanced, right? I'm going to be careful that your neck doesn't take any strain, otherwise it can get uncomfortable. But either way, just a break from the core. We're going to come into a side lying position now. If you can just straighten your bottom left arm and have your legs stacked up in front, knees in line with your hips, but not for long, because the top right leg is going to just extend in front. Sole of your foot facing forward, just bringing that leg up a little bit and just having a little bit of steady rotation with your right leg now. Little circles, a little bit of lowering and lifting, and going a little bit higher up. We're still circling around. Breathing in, blowing out, a little bit of lowering and lifting again. Going up another level, and this time, what about a bit of rotation a little bit bigger? So little circles, keeping the core sucked in nice and tight here, guys, okay? So mainly your glutes are working hard, but your core is assisting a little bit, going a little bit higher with the right leg, and just holding it there, nice and still, the outside of your glute really feeling the burn. And from there, just carefully come down, and that's a great way to keep the glutes, the pressure on those gluteals there. So we come to our plank, which you've probably seen quite a lot of, but this is a great way for working those deep stabilizing muscles. Just a nice static movement, okay? We have elbows pressed into the ground, your head in line with spine, your legs together currently, your abdominals in towards the spine, head in line with your spine as well, and you just taking the front of your thighs off the ground with your knees staying down, keeping the body still. That's a great way to do it. Or coming up onto your toes without lifting your bum too high, just keeping everything nice and level, head in line with spine, and the base of your abdominal core really start to shake. Really building a strong base for the limbs to move away from. So just hold it for another 8 seconds if you can. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then take a breath and come down. That's a great way to improve your posture as well as working shoulders, thighs, glutes and core. So up we come, onto our hands and knees, ready just to keep the abdominal core nice and tight, so the limbs have a good foundation to move away from. You've got your hands at the shoulders, knees into hips, a nice flat spine, looking down, sliding your left leg behind, tummy sucked in, raise the right arm and the left leg, and if you can folks, just do your best to take a right arm to the right and a left leg to the left there, slowly coming back in, blowing out and coming apart. So the core's nice and stable, and that's allowing the limbs to move away at a nice steady speed, working into your upper back and into the left side of your core, breathing in and then just slowing that down. Okay, so that's great to work on the left side of your abdominals, but it's also just challenging your core stability to keep you nice and stable during the movement. So into the other bit of glute overload, just slide that opposite arm out, and with your legs stacked currently, just extend your top leg straight, rest your head down, maintain a tight core, and with that opposite leg, just a bit of rotation, little circles, a little bit of lowering and lifting, and up to level 2, back to the circles. So with stronger glutes, you can have better stability in your hips. And of course, if you're a regular runner or just you want to tone up in the lower body, you can't go wrong with this. Up to level 3, where we go slightly bigger with our rotation now. Breathing in, blowing out. A little bit higher up and just holding it there, nice and still. And the glute is on fire, but just take a breath in, slowly bring yourself up, and we'll just return onto the hands and knees again. So just finding flat palms under your shoulders, knees direct into your hips, your core sucked in towards that spine. Slide your right foot behind you, lengthen your left arm to shoulder height and right leg to glute height without kicking anything, and then when you're nice and still, nice and tight in the abdominal core, take the left arm to the left and the right leg to the right. So just the limbs moving only, keeping a nice tight core, staying nice and stable in that area, blowing out and breathing in. One more time, blowing out and breathing in. So your core might be just starting to feel a pretty good shake on, but stick with it guys, alright? We're now going to just come into the other side of our core stability overload. So just imprint your spine to the floor, head to the ground as well, nice neutral spine, nice tight core in your abdominals. So here it comes. We're going to just slide the right leg out straight, right hand behind the back of your head, raise the left arm so the palm of your hand faces to the left, abdominals in, carefully bring your head off the ground, lifting your right heel off the floor slightly, and on the out breath, just letting the left arm only do the work, blowing out, breathing in, then a left arm to the left, breathing in, and then blowing out again. So, right side of your abdominal trunk, working hard and stabilize the muscles. Really feeling this. Believe me, with correct tempo and form and control, you will feel a great shake going on the right side of your abdominals. Breathing in as we come up, and once more, blowing out, left arm to the left, breathing in as we come down. Rest your head and just have a bit of stretch into your glutes. So left ankle crossed over your right thigh, bring your foot off the ground, grab your foot, grab your knee, hug it in. That might be enough, but if you push it to the right, you'll just get a bit extra stretch going on into the left glute heel. Little change over, so that's a great one to do, folks, this workout. If you just want to build some really good strength in your abdominals, push it over to the left side, and you're going to have a stronger base for those limbs to move away from, and you might just find that your running times are going to just improve, as well as your posture as well. So we'll just come up and we'll have a little bit of mobility into that spine. Hands on the shoulders, knees under the hips, drop your head, just press your hands into the ground, chin tucked in, arch on the upper spine, and then lifting your tailbone upwards, lifting your head upwards also. You're just getting some nice relief into that lower back, that tailbone. Give your head a turn each way. And drop the head, press your palms into the ground. So the combination of this, spine mobility and core stability, you're going to be feeling a whole lot better. One more time, just again, lift your head upwards, tilt your tailbone upwards as well. And then just wave in and out, going side to side, swirling around, giving that spine and that back lots of feel-good mobility. Round we go. And then just sliding your knees together, folks. Just slide your hands back towards your feet, chest in towards your thighs, head towards the floor. Nice relieving stretch into the spine. Deep breath in, exhale out, and then lifting your head slowly. And yeah, so give that a go. If you just want to really take your time with it, don't rush it when your arms are going down, and keep the body nice and stable when the limbs have gone out as far as they can as well, and you will start to really improve that strength in your core, and we hope that it makes you feel better as well. Okay, well done. Thanks for watching.